Guys, welcome back to my channel, Life with Javasha. And as you can tell from this video, that this is a story time on how my mom passed away. Let me go about telling you guys that I don't really speak about it. I don't really tell anybody about it, not because I just don't talk about it. It's not something that you always want to keep reliving. Only reason I'm trying to make this video now is because, well, her birthday just passed. It was on Thanksgiving. And I just want you guys to get to know a little bit more, get to know me a little bit more, you know. So all my life I kind of just live with my grandmother. I lived with my grandmother for the longest. We lived like downtown area where I'm from. So I lived with my grandma up until I was about 13, 14. When she passed, I had to go and live with my mom, but right when she passed, I kind of lived with my sister, my oldest sister first. Then I went to go live with my mom. I think I was about, when I went to move with my mom, I think I was about, I think I was about 15. It's not that we didn't have a relationship or anything. I just had to get to know her just as well as she had to get to know me. I've seen her, I've seen her almost every day. She's taking me to school from my grandmother's house, but my mom, she was a school teacher, so she worked at the school. Well, that was in elementary. So she used to take me to school with her every morning, drop me back off to my grandmother's house after school. And when I got to middle school, I seen her a lot as well. She stays come to my grandmother's house almost every day. So it's not like I did not know her. I just really knew my grandmother as my mother, you know. So when she passed, I went to stay with my sister. Then I had to go and stay with my mom for some reason. I don't know why, but I went to go and stay with my mom when I was about 15. Yeah, I was about 15. Yeah, 14, 15. So yeah, so when I was about 15, I went to go and stay with my mom. So we kind of had to get to know each other more. You know, they say you don't know nobody until you live with them. So that's kind of like where we was at. But in that time, like, she got to know who I was, I got to know who she was, and we built that mother-daughter bond. Like, we built that bond, and we were not just mother and daughter, like, we were almost like best friends, you know. Like, I could tell her anything, she could tell me anything. Kinda. You know, she wouldn't tell me everything, but she, you know, kinda. So it still was like a mother-daughter relationship. It wasn't like friends, like homies, like, girl, let me tell you what happened today. Not like that, but we were still cool. So up until I had my first child when I was 17, you know, and she kind of like raised my first child, so to say. Yeah, that's another story time. But she kind of like raised my first child because I was kind of young, and I felt towards the end, after everything happened, I kind of felt like she raised her and did everything she was supposed to do with her kids to my daughter. You get what I'm saying? If it makes sense. So yeah, after a while, like, she didn't get like sick, overly sick or anything like that. Like, we didn't know it was a problem. I started to figure out it was a problem when she told me something about she needed me to pay for her medicine because they found a mass on her. I think she told me it was her on her stomach or something. And I'm like, huh? And I'm like, okay, well, you know, not thinking nothing of it. All right, well, because she would still go out, she would still go to work, and she was not cough sick. She didn't physically look sick, so it was like, okay, well, we could get it. I gave her the money. I assume she got it, so I don't really know, but I assume she had got it or whatever the case may be. Yeah, so I was pregnant with my last baby. I was pregnant with Diaria, and I was not living with my mom when I was pregnant with my last one. Yeah, I was not living with my mom, so she kind of like, she went to the doctor because she said her stomach was hurting. She went to the hospital. She said her stomach was hurting. So I didn't go with her. None of my other sisters went either. My cousin went with her, which was, my cousin was like her best friend, like a daughter to her. Like, they did everything together. So she went with her, and then she called and said, hey, your mom in the hospital, y'all need to come and see her, blah blah blah. I wasn't driving at the time. My sister, she my middle sister that's next to me, she came and picked me up. We went to the hospital, you know, they told her she had to stay, and when we came, it was like a tube down her nose, I think it was, or her mouth. It was something. And I'm like, well, what the hell? Like, you know, like, what's going on? She was like, yeah, her stomach was hurting, blah, blah, blah. They're going to do like a, I don't know what they call it, a biopsy or autopsy, something. They was going to do that. I guess it was, this was on a Friday. They was going to do that on a Monday, so she had to stay in the hospital. We're like, okay. So it got late. We came home. We went back early that morning, and, you know, we just eating breakfast. We had lunch up there. We had dinner up there. So it was like we were there night and day and night. We really lived up there. Mind you, I was pregnant through this whole process. So Monday comes around, and they do their, what is it, the autopsy, biopsy, whatever it is. They did it, and they, you know, come back with the results. When they came back with the results, they spoke directly to my two older sisters. They spoke directly to my older sister first, and then my older sister came and got my other sister, and did not come and get me. So I sat there with my mom, and I'm like, well, and she was like, well, you should go see what's going on, just to go and see. And I'm like, you know, I don't really, you know, I'll wait, you know, I'll wait, or whatever. So my two sisters came back in there. Nobody said a word. Nobody said nothing. We just kept going on with whatever. So I didn't even ask to say, like, hey, what happened? You know, I just figured they didn't want to say in front of her, or I don't know. I had no idea what I was really going through in that time. So that happened. Then a few days rolled by, and a lot of our family members came down. My mom's sisters and brothers, everybody came down from like Tampa and wherever else they come from to come and visit her. And once they, you know, came and visit her, like, everybody stayed, like, I think it was a weekend or 2 days or something like that. And everything was okay. So then she had to get moved from the hospital to hospice. And I'm like, what the hell, like, hospice? Now, me being in the nursing field, none of this stuff never dawned on me. Like, I know when somebody goes to hospice what time it is. So it never really dawned on me. All of this was transpiring like so fast, and I was still pregnant. So I'm like, okay, hospice, okay. So we went to a hospice in another hospital. So she really didn't like it. So she wanted to go home, so we moved her back home. So I was there every day. My other sister was there every day. My oldest sister would come between her breaks and after work for work. So somebody was there all the time, you know. Then she got to the point where she was like, I don't really want you guys to kind of take care of me here. So it was like, I mean, it don't matter. Like, we all here. Like, I wasn't even working. I was like pregnant, basically. And my other sister, she was kind of like back and forth. And then my middle sister, she was working, but she wasn't working as much. I don't really remember. But everybody was there. Everybody would come through. You know, you always ate, blah, blah, blah. So she wanted to go to a nursing home. So we took her to like a nursing facility. Still, nothing has dawned on me. Crazy. Nothing has dawned on me. Nothing. So we go to the nursing facility. I actually drove her there. My oldest sister and her husband drove in a truck in the front of us, and I drove my mom behind them. So we got there, settled in, everything's cool. So one random day, I'm just there. We just sitting there. She's like, oh, the doctor said if I eat more, I probably could live more than 3 months. And I'm like, live more than 3 months? Girl, who said that? Like, I don't know what. Wait, pump your brakes. Who said that? Like, I don't know what. Wait, pump your brakes. I ain't heard that. So I immediately left out of that room, and I called my older sister, and I said, hey, Mom said something crazy to me, as in, you know, I told her what she told me, and she's like, oh, well, she really wasn't supposed to tell you. Supposed to tell me what? And she was like, I just talk to you later. And she was like, yeah, you know, that's what they said. The doctors was telling her that she only had like 3 months or whatever. And I'm like, what? Like, who? I thought this was, you know, you would come up out of this, because I never, you know, my mom never was sick. I've never seen her sick and whatever. And she's like, yeah, you know, they told her that. And I'm like, well, damn, that's just crazy. So that whole day I had a whole attitude with everybody. I didn't want to talk to nobody, because ain't nobody telling me nothing. So don't come talk to me now. But as time went on, I did her hair there. She got her hair done. We went to the nail place, get your nails done. Like, everything was still everything. I was there, oh my God, I was there from morning to night till the nurses got to know me, the CNAs got to know me. I would get food, because they were like, go get something to eat, you're pregnant, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know, I don't want to go nowhere. You know, I wasn't really up for it. Like, I didn't have a social media, nothing. Everything was kind of like on a standstill, like, so to say. So, I think it was the day, it's like I took a picture of her, because she was trying to eat like some gum. Like, my son gave her some bubble gum, and she wasn't even eating it right. And I'm like, something's not right, something is off. So I took a picture of her, and I sent it to my sister, and I'm like, something not like right, you know. I sent it to my sister, and I told her, you know, something's not right. And she was like, oh, well, you know, she's probably tired, you know, she be getting medicine. And at that moment, then I knew, like, around that time, towards the end, I knew she had pancreatic cancer. I don't know exactly when I found that out, or how I reacted, or what, because I don't know. But around that time, I knew then she had pancreatic cancer. At that time, I didn't necessarily know what it was, what it can do to you. I don't even remember me thinking at that time, like, cancer can kill you, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think. I processed it. So once that happened, I said, I'm gonna just stay up here a little bit longer. I actually I stayed until it was time for me to leave, because, you know, you can't stay after certain hours. But they always were telling me to go home anyway, because I would stay there. I would just be there. So I left late, and I had just got a place. It was me and my homegirl, my kids. She came stay with me, because I just moved in. Nothing was really in there. I only had like a few things in there, and I was like, I'm gonna just stay over here tonight. So, and that's what we did. And like early in the morning, I didn't even take my kids to school, which was ironic, because I always take my kids to school. This particular day, I didn't take my kids to school. I was like, you know what, I'm tired. I don't feel like it. But in a way, I kind of heard my mom's voice, like, get your ass up, take these kids to school, because if you don't take them to school, I'll register them, and it's gonna be da da da. And I'm like, I don't want to get up. So I look at my phone. I have so many missed calls from like everyone. When I say everyone called me. My cousins, my aunt, my sisters. Well, my sister that's close to me, she didn't call me. My oldest sister blew me up. And I'm like, well, damn, she keep calling me, like, something happened. And I can remember thinking in my head, something happened. And my friend looked at me, she's like, you okay? And I'm like, something going on, something's wrong. And she was like, well, call somebody back and see what's going on. If anything, I'm right here. You know, it's the reason I stayed with you. And I'm like, something wrong. And she kept telling me, just call somebody. And I'm like, I'm scared. Like, I'm scared. I mean, I don't even want to call. Like, I'm scared. At this point, I don't even want to call somebody, because I don't want to know. So after going back and forth with her, maybe about 10 minutes, took me a whole 10 minutes. I said, well, let me call my cousin. I called my cousin. She didn't even live here. She lived way, I think she was in Texas. Connecticut, something. She was far. So I called my cousin. Why I called her, I don't know. But I called her first. I figured I probably called her because if it was some bad news, maybe she didn't know yet, so she could give me some type of like, you okay? Let me know, something like that. And I called her. Her husband picked up the phone, and he says to me, "Oh, Vasha, she already heard." And I'm like, okay. And I hear her in the background. She's like screaming, she's crying. So I'm like, at this point, something happened. Something happened. Something happened to my mom. And I was like, okay. And I hung up with him. And as soon as I hung up with him, I think my sister know, like I had my phone in my hand. As soon as I pressed the end button, it started back ringing. I'm like, oh my God. And then she was like, just answer, just answer. My friend, I'm like, hello? And she said, her voice was so crackly. She was like, how soon can you get to where Mom at? And I'm like, I could come now. And she was like, okay, just come on, meet me in the front. And I'm like, okay. Now, me being a nurse, I didn't think none of this shit through. I didn't think about cancer. I didn't think about hospice. I didn't think about none of that. All that stuff was like not irrelevant, but it like flew over me every time. It flew over me. Every time I heard about it, it flew over me. So when I say I ran out my house, I didn't even have no shoes on. I didn't know if my kids was okay. I didn't know if they was in the car. I didn't know. Thank God I did have one of my friends there to kind of help me, because she did grab up the kids and grab up little stuff that they had on or whatever, some shoes for them. I forgot I didn't have no shoes. I ran out there with no shoes on. She gave me her shoes, and she stayed in the car with the kids. And I got up there, and I went to the front. My sister wasn't in the front. I didn't know if I was supposed to call her or what, but she wasn't in the front. I go to where my mom's room is, and the door was closed. And before I could even step to the door, like one of the nurses, she stopped me. As soon as I touched the door, she stopped me. She said, remember, you're pregnant, don't stress. And she said, let me get you some water before you go. And I'm like, I said, I don't want no water or anything. I went in there, the curtain was pulled back, and the only thing I could see was like her feet. But the sheet was all the way up like here. And I'm like, I froze. I froze in time. Like I froze, right? My sister and her husband, they were sitting there, and I can remember my sister getting up, and she grabbed me, and she was like, it's okay. She said, I got you. She said, I got you. I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. She was like, you want to go give her a hug? You want to touch us? I sat down in a chair at the end of the bed. This time I got my water, got everything. And I'm just stuck. Have you ever been so stuck to you don't know what you're thinking, you don't know what you're feeling, you just stuck. So in that time, as by me just sitting there like 5 minutes later, my other sister who's in the middle, she comes, and she was working. She was driving like my older sister was driving school buses, and my other sister, she was driving like the other kind of buses for like disabled people or something. So she came, she walked in the door, she didn't speak, she didn't say anything, so I knew something was wrong with her, just because everybody processes everything different. She came, she gave her a kiss, and she left. She was distraught too, and we just let her leave. My mom's sisters and brothers, and then my cousins started coming up. Yeah, everyone was. It was a horrible experience for me. It was really, really sad. It was really, really cold. It was just like, wow, you know. And in the midst of that, you know, when they come and get your body and stuff like that, they had a my mama had a folder, and she wrote down everything. She wrote down how she wanted her funeral to go. She wrote down how she wanted who to do her funeral. She wrote her whole obituary. She wrote down to the color she wanted everybody to wear at her funeral. She wrote her brothers and sisters letters. That was crazy. It was like I was living in a movie. It was like I was living in a movie that I could not get out of. Like, I could not get out of it. Could not get out of this movie. And it was like, wow. The time when everyone was there, it was deep. It was deep. Everyone was there but my cousin, who was my mom's like bestie. So when she came in that elevator and she broke down, like I don't know if that hurt me even more. It was like, wow, like this is real. This is real. So once the people come and get you, you know, they tie you up, get ready to put you in the body bag, whatever it is. I just so happened to look back, and my mom's brother, he went in there to go help them because he couldn't, like, that was his first sibling. My mom was the first, she's the baby and the first sibling to pass. So it was like really crazy. Really crazy. All this I endured while I was pregnant. My mom's funeral was 2 days after my birthday. On my birthday that year, 2012, I spent my birthday picking out a casket for my mom and pregnant. It's a lot of stuff that I pinpointed, like, you know what, you've been through so much, and you're still here, you're still strong, you're still going, you're still doing it. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, I didn't see like how far I would come or can come. I didn't see. All I know was I was pregnant, I was emotional, I was going through it. I know my mom just passed. I know my birthday was picking out a casket, and I know 2 days later was her actual funeral. 2 days after my birthday was her actual funeral. So it's like, damn, can't catch a break. I was pregnant then. My daughter actually came early because of so much stress I was going through. She actually came 1 month after my mom's funeral. My mom's funeral was 4/7. My daughter was born 5/7. Yeah. So my mom passed of pancreatic cancer. I'm guessing that's like a silent killer. After my mama's funeral, you know, people tell you they're gonna be there, they're gonna get this, they're gonna do that, and those be the people that are the most farthest away. My sisters, they don't even talk. They haven't talked since then, and it's been almost 8 years. Like, this should be like 8 years. They haven't talked since then. Me and my older sister, we kept in touch a little bit after, but then she started to fade away too. My middle sister, she was kind of like off and on with the speaking to me, because they completely stopped talking. And then my middle sister was kind of like off and on speaking to me, and she'll speak to me when she wants to, then she'll talk to me when she don't, and da da da. So now me and her haven't talked in maybe over a year or two, off, you know, fully like a year. And I wish things was better. Like, I wish things was better, but it's not. And this is the cards that we're dealt. I'm dealt, and I deal with it, you know. So it's just, you would think, you know, you guys share a parent that passed, you know what I'm saying, it will bring you closer, but it brought us further apart. But that was my story time on how my mom passed. And keep pushing. If you listen, if you're watching this, just keep pushing. You can do it. Like, I overcome all of that. 2012 was horrible. Besides my grandmother passing, 2012 was like horrible for me. I went into like a depression, everything. But you will never know because I kept pushing. That's all you can do. Keep going. You got it. Let this encourage you. Let this encourage you. For real. Well, thank you guys for watching.